Welcome to the 21st Greater Brisbane Weekly Update for 2025, keeping you in the loop so you know what's happening across all 5 LGAs. We'll start with the results of the Best of Queensland competition, where Queenslanders voted for the best of 15 categories, including Best Pub, Best Banh Mi, and Best Landmark. 7 of the 15 winners were here in Brisbane. The Best Palmy was at Botany in Newstead, Best Burger was at Mr. Jeebus in Tingalpa, the Best Beer was the Queensland Pale Ale by Archer Brewing Company in Wilston, Slipstream Brewery Company in Urungpilly took out Best Pub, winner of Best Banh Mi was My Street Food in Woolloongabba, the Coffee Commune in Bowen Hills was voted as having the best coffee, and the Story Bridge took out Best Landmark. I have some food-related vlogs planned, including a series searching for the best banh mi in Brisbane, so I'll definitely be visiting My Street Food in one instalment. But I'm thinking it may be good to pay a visit to each of the winners across Brisbane to see if their offering is really deserving of the title of Queensland's best. Let me know if you'd watch that, or if you are sure you know an alternative that should have won. While we're in the Brisbane LGA, let's look at some development updates, starting with uncertainty over the future of Boggo Road Gaol. The jail, which opened in 1883, was notorious in its time, and the site of Queensland's last death penalty execution. It became a popular tourist attraction after closing in 1992. It's listed on both local and state heritage registers. But it closed to tourists in the early 2020s due to construction of a boutique commercial development in the area adjacent to the prison. The new development will connect with Cross River Rail's Boggo Road station, which is projected to become Queensland's second busiest transport interchange, with some 22,000 commuters passing through each day by 2036. The development is due to be completed next year, but there's no date given for the jail access to be reopened. The state government has not committed to reopening it at all, with a spokesperson saying that it's currently under review as part of a strategic precinct planning process. It seems developing beside heritage-listed buildings is a current trend, with a 17-storey apartment block given the go-ahead by Brisbane City Council next to the Breakfast Creek Hotel. Approval was granted despite protests from the Australian Leisure Hospitality Group, the Woolworths-controlled owners of the hotel. They had opposed the development as they said it was 8 stories higher than the local planning limits and had failed to consider noise impacts. Before granting approval, Brisbane City Council had required some changes be made to the building design, including lowering the podium height from 4 to 3 stories to match the ridge of the roof of the Breakfast Creek Hotel. Other changes included slight redesign to a rounded and curved edge to soften the tower and further separate it from the hotel, and the colour palette was modified to better blend in. The design includes a public plaza connecting the tower with the Breakfast Creek Hotel. A less controversial development plan is the transformation of the 51-year-old office tower at 450 Queen Street, which promises to turn it into one of the most sustainable commercial buildings in Australia. I couldn't find much about features that would make the finished building more sustainable, but the redevelopment itself is what makes it notable. Instead of demolishing the old building and constructing a new one, this project will retain the existing concrete structure, integrating one of Australia's tallest vertical cross-laminated timber extensions, which will add 1,500 square metres over 3 new levels. The Green Building Council of Australia found that this innovative development approach will result in 66% fewer carbon emissions than traditional demolish and rebuild approaches. But you don't need to be a wealthy property developer to bring new life to a building. It's amazing what a fresh paint job can do to transform your home or workplace, and that's where the sponsor of this video, YB Painting Services, comes in. Their meticulous attention to detail is impressive, and with fixed pricing and a 5-year warranty on all their work, you can be sure there'll be no unpleasant surprises. If you're thinking of getting some painting work done, claim your 10% discount as a viewer of the Brisbane Channel by scanning this QR code or clicking the link in the video description. Over in Ipswich this week, the City Council unveiled their new Ipswich City Plan, which addresses what needs to be done to prepare for the massive population growth forecast in the LGA over the next 20 years. Ipswich's population is projected to more than double by 2046, and the new planning scheme lays out what will be done to ensure that there is ample housing to cater for the increasing cohort of locals, as well as infrastructure to cater to the booming population. Some notable changes include promoting building up rather than out, and removing the need to obtain approval to build a granny flat on certain properties. The plan aims to increase housing stock from 92,700 homes to 192,400 over the term of the plan. I'll be unpacking the plan in a little more detail later this year. Up in Moreton Bay, and the Queensland Government has released the results of the first stage of a review into erosion on Bribie Island. While technically it's focused on the northern part of Bribie Island, which is outside Greater Brisbane, I've included it in this update as changes to how water flows through and around the island affects the wider area, including that of Moreton Bay City Council's jurisdiction. The report gathered information from 200 sources, including historical and technical documents, and concluded that human activity had accelerated natural coastal reshaping processes. The review is in response to the formation and subsequent widening of passages that cut through the island, first splitting it in 2022 as ex-tropical cyclone Seth brought rough surf that pummeled the island. This year, ex-tropical cyclone Alfred created 2 more channels. The second stage of the report, extended to be finalised around August, will focus on how the issue should be addressed. I've linked to the full report for Stage 1 in the video description. Last week's update saw the precarious financial situation Logan City Council is facing, meanwhile planning development of a massive park. Well, this week, Mayor John Raven announced that in light of the need to cut costs, there will be no new significant money allocated to new parks in the upcoming budget. While Council will not be sending money in that direction, that doesn't mean that such projects will be halted. Instead, they'll use alternative sources of funding, such as grants from state or federal government, which Raven says is already the standard method. There's currently around 20 parks that are either in the design stage, about to start, or mid-construction. In the light of the current economic situation of the council, ratepayers are bracing for a record rates hike. Meanwhile, Brisbane City Council Lord Mayor Adrian Schrinner has put out a release saying that in the 2025-26 budget, Brisbane rates will remain the lowest in southeast Queensland. He's pointed out that Brisbane's rates are almost $400 a year less than those paid by Gold Coast residents. While that may sound good, that shouldn't be taken at face value, as what is included in rates bills varies from LGA to LGA. For example, Brisbane rates do not include water and sewerage, as these services are managed by separate providers and billed separately. However, in Redland, Logan and the Gold Coast, councils act as water retailers, so water and sewerage charges are included in rates notices. One thing that does come as good news, however, is that there will be no levy to pay for the significant impacts on Brisbane from Tropical Cyclone Alfred. I'd really love it if you could support the work I put into this channel by buying me a coffee, or you can join the core group of supporters that have become channel members. You'll get extra benefits as a member, and it helps the channel keep ticking along. Let's get to the quick bites, brief snippets of updates from around the 5 Greater Brisbane LGAs, starting in Brisbane, where construction work on Exhibition Station is now complete. It will only open for special events, such as the Ekka, until it opens for year-round services in line with the start of trains running through the Cross River rail tunnels, now expected in 2029. Brisbane residents are encouraged to participate in the 2025 Livability Census, which gives you the opportunity to share your thoughts about what would make your neighbourhood better. The results will be shared with all levels of government and can influence decisions made that will affect the livability of your area. You can also win a $1,000 shopping voucher or one of 40 $100 vouchers. The Brisbane 2032 Organising Committee are asking for your feedback on their vision statement, which aims to capture the spirit of Brisbane 2032 and ensure it resonates with all Australians. The 5-minute survey aims to ensure the vision statement reflects the values of Australians. If you're a Logan resident, the council is giving you the opportunity to have your say as they formulate their new city vision for the next 50 years, aiming to improve the quality of life for current and future generations that call Logan home. The online survey asks for your thoughts across these 5 key themes. To Moreton Bay, where the council has announced a total of $5.35 million in federal funding for these projects as the result of an advocacy campaign in the lead up to the federal election. Moreton Bay City Council has also granted 2 leases for $1 a year to these 2 sporting clubs as part of their efforts to support local community groups. In Ipswich, the City Council have unanimously voted to approve the establishment of a new Multicultural Advisory Committee, which will be chaired by Pi Augustine, the first councillor of African heritage in Ipswich's history. The committee will engage with community and reflect on whether new opportunities exist to capitalise on the city's diverse population, which includes migrants from 163 countries who speak over 150 languages between them. It will run for an initial period of 6 months. Also in Ipswich, locals are being encouraged to plan ahead if they intend to visit the Riverview Resource Recovery Centre, as essential repairs to the centre's transfer pit are scheduled from the 16th of June until late August, and these will affect operations. If you need to drop off waste, you're best to visit in off-peak times or consider using Rosewood Resource Recovery Centre, which will be operating at full capacity. I'm really excited about some videos that are coming soon to the Brisbane Channel. This coming week we'll see a video with tips to deal with some of the stresses that come from Brisbane life in 2025, featuring interviews with a handful of local psychologists. I've been working on that one for a while. And I'm aiming to also release a second video midweek introducing you to a dish you've probably never tried, but really should, and where in Brisbane to get it. Coming soon will also be the start of the series where I tried to track down Brisbane's best, most authentic banh mi. The following week, I'll be interviewing Teresa Harding, the Mayor of Ipswich, for an upcoming video on urban and suburban renewal. Moreton Bay, I'm still hoping to hear back from you soon. And the same week, I'll be interviewing a member of Brisbane City Council that is a member of the opposition for an upcoming video that aims to pull back the curtain and look into the inner workings of Brisbane City Council from all sides. And there's a heap of other videos on a diverse range of topics planned, as well as the weekly updates, of course. YouTube recommends this video for you as the next video for you to watch. I'll see you there or in the next video.